Hey guys, so have you ever thought about back in the old days we were in school, back in the old days for me, when we were in school, the teacher used to give us a quiz before the test. And a lot of times we looked at those quizzes and we're like, oh man, we got to do this and stuff. But the purpose of the quiz now, being an adult, is a little bit more clear. Because the purpose of the quiz was to show us those areas that maybe we were deficient in before the test came, because the quiz itself didn't have the same weight as far as the grade goes, but the test did. And the teacher would give you a quiz to let you know that, hey, you need to study this a little bit more, I need to be careful for these things, I forgot about that section. Because when the test comes and you have the full weight of that grade bearing on you, you want to do good on the test. And I think about that with respect to these mandates. I wonder if maybe we've been looking at these mandates the wrong way all along. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not for them. But I am starting to look at these things and seeing them as a grace and as a mercy. Because at the end of the day, these things that are coming about now, I do not believe are the test. I believe they're the quiz. I believe they're the things that are showing us in our lives the things that are truly most important in our heart. Jesus gave an example of two different builders who built their house on two different foundations. And one guy builds his house on the sand, and then the wind and the waves and stuff beat on the house. And Jesus talks about how the sand, the foundation, erodes, and the house comes crashing down. And then he talks about another builder who builds his house on the rock. And that foundation is sturdy and firm and it's rigid, and when the waves come, the wave beats on the house, but the house still remains. It doesn't fall down. I think most Christians would say in their hearts that I have built my foundation on Christ. But in reality, these quizzes are revealing to us that our foundation is maybe built partially on Christ and partially on the sand. The problem with having a house that is built on two different foundations, though, is that when the foundation on one side erodes and collapses and that section of the house falls, it's going to pull the rest of the house down with it. So maybe another way that we look at these mandates and these things that are going on today is to look at these things as graces and mercies, as quizzes for the test that's to come. Because at the end of the day, the quiz itself doesn't have the same weight, but the test will. And the quiz, the purpose of it is to reveal those things in our hearts that are maybe truly important. So as we sit there and we kind of rationalize to ourselves and we say, well, Christ is most important, He's my provider. But then we compromise on the quiz, we put the wrong answer down, and our actions actually demonstrate that we don't actually believe that. In fact, our actions actually reveal that we're dependent on ourselves, and we begin to rationalize it by saying, well, if I don't do this, then I'm going to lose my job. If I don't do this, then my wife's going to be upset. If I don't do this, then my family's not going to speak to me anymore. We look at these things in our lives and we give the wrong answer on the quiz. We know what the answer should be. If you're a Christ follower, you know what the answer should be. But maybe what we're doing is we're looking at these things the wrong way. We know what the answer should be. We know the test is coming because Jesus spoke about it. He said these things are coming. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to participate in the economy. You're not going to be able to do anything unless you comply. So maybe we need to look at that from that perspective. Anyway, you guys, God bless.